It takes 21 days to establish a new habit. Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and I thought I would sit down and chat with you guys and yell a little bit about this today. And the whole 21 day thing is interesting because even when we look at that from a lifting perspective, and I'm going to get into how this is useful for beginners in a minute, didn't even the Russians figure this out during the Cold War when they were dumping all of that money into lifting research? They started building all their programs off of 3-week blocks, right? 21-day blocks became the norm for how they programmed all these state-sponsored athletes for the Olympics, right, in the weight room. Just an interesting side note there with that. But we also know that it's been observed that even your taste buds reset and resensitize every 21 days. So that kind of matters even for people who want to change their diet. When they say, oh, I can't live without this food or that, or this food is bland or boring, because it's not hyper palatable with a ton of artificial stuff in it. Keep in mind, in 21 days, that starts to change. Just an FYI. So why does a 21-day thing matter? What's our context for this? And it's because everyone wants to do too much too quick. Too many people who start out, they bite off more than they can chew. Okay, they try to do too much too quickly. And look, for some people that works. For some people that works. For the majority, it will not. I happen to actually be one of the people that it works for. But again, this is a case of telling people to find what works for them. Not good in this situation because I'm the outlier there. Okay, so if I were to tell you, hey, that's what everyone should do, it would be bad information. All right, the majority of people need to start small. And if you don't believe me, how many people out there listening, they're chiming in, or their loved ones who do this, and they don't understand how to get their family member or their significant or other into shape, who they try and fail. Maybe some of you who are long timers here, that's a big reason why. They jump in and they try to do too much at once instead of looking at the long-term lifestyle changes, because they want a quick fix. And they don't think about the fact that the time is going to pass anyway, so why don't you get a slow fix that works and works forever, and so every 6 months you're in better shape. Significantly better shape every 6 months for the next 10 years. Okay? And when you look at it from that perspective, then it starts to become really, really clear. If someone says, okay, so I'm 30 years old and, I'm really out of shape, and so you're telling me in 10 years I could literally be better every single year than I was the one before? Yeah. So by that time, think about how dramatically different you can be at 40 versus 30. That time is going to pass anyways. Okay? And the reason the habits matter is that once something becomes a habit, it becomes easy. And I know people see some of what I do and what some of the people I work with do. There are a lot of people in the fitness world like, what y'all do is so extreme. Where do you find the discipline? Well, we took years to build that. Okay? And it actually isn't hard. It's not hard because we made such small enough transitions along the way, right? We made such small transitions along the way that guess what? It didn't seem that difficult. It just wasn't that hard to do. Because if you establish new habits every 21 days, you don't notice them. The only thing that you notice is that, hey, I started a new habit. And here's what I mean. Let's say that you do need to get in shape. Let's say you're going from couch to wanting to look sexy. Why don't you change one thing or two things? One thing in your movement and exercise, and one thing in your diet. That can be profound. And it's one of the examples I give, the ones I love to give for beginners. I mean, I want everyone weight training, but you can wait till the second part. Right? You can wait a few weeks to start that. Why don't you get up and walk every morning? That's it. Get up and walk every morning. It'll suck the first few days. But at 21 days, it will become a habit. And at 21 days, it will become your normal to where you'll just get up and start doing it almost without thinking about it. Just think about how much stuff you do works off habits in your day-to-day, even your bad habits, right? All the stuff that got you fat and out of shape and sick are habits also. You do them almost without even thinking anymore. Of course, you put that 2 scoops of sugar in your coffee without thinking about it. It's a habit. It's a horrific habit. Right? It's a horrific habit. But yeah, it's a habit. So that's an example. So start walking. How about you just cut out sugary drinks? All right, I want people to think about those. They're like, okay, I could do that for a little while. Except that when that little while starts turning into a habit real fast, and then it gets real easy and you almost don't even think about it anymore. Those 2 things alone would be life-changing for anyone who's out of shape. Hell, those over time, that's worth 20 or 30 pounds of fat loss eventually. Just by itself. No other changes. Plotted out over a long period of time. Okay? What about if you go the next step up? You do both of those for 3 weeks. Okay, now they become easy. So the 4th week gets here, add another couple habits. How about you start doing a little resistance training twice a week? How about you make a conscious effort to add a significant amount of fruits and vegetables? Let's say just 2 extra servings of vegetables or fruit to your diet every day. Okay? So by week 6, those are all habits. You have all 4 of those habits. How much do those add up plotted out over an extended period of time? They're massive. People not understand that what happens when you get to the 10th 3-week block. What if you add after that, so let's say we now have doubled up. So let's say every 3 weeks for the next year, you add 1 small habit. That's going to be around 16 per year. You're at 30 new habits at the 2-year mark that you just do subconsciously. Think about the difference of that versus trying to go all in at once, burning out and quitting. Where are you going to be in 2 years, 3 years? Hey, that's why this matters. Establishing those small habits. That's what creates all this discipline. People are like, oh, where'd all of you find the discipline? That is literally how you develop it. That is the process right there. That is your how. Right? This is why it matters, knowing that 21 days. It's kind of a big deal once you understand how to use it as a tool. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.